Hades is genuinely one of the best games I've played in a really long time. So I started playing this about a week or two ago and I can't drop it, and I just had to make a video talking about why it's so great. So guys, before I get into this, there is going to be a bit of a spoiler warning. I'm going to try not to spoil anything, but just in case I do, you have been warned. Secondly, this isn't an ad, I'm not being paid or anything, this is genuinely my opinion. The 5 reasons why Hades is so awesome, you need to try it now. Let's get into it. So number 1, the game looks so awesome. Enemies are unique and really distinctive, and it allows you to easily identify what attacks are coming. On top of that, the main character looks so cool, and alongside the other characters, a few of them do have in-game models. Most of them have a cool looking splash art when you talk to them, and the splash arts are amazingly done. They really add to the thematic of the game and allow you to really get to know the character almost, because each splash art has a different character and a different pose, really representing their personality. The different stages in the game are so unique, but each looks awesome in its own way, really aiding the immersion. Now you're only going to see one of the stages in the video because I really don't want to spoil the other ones for you, but I can tell you now, you'll be so excited when you get to each different level. The weapons are also amazing. Each one has unique abilities and effects that really make them all different, and then on top of that, when they're blessed by the gods, they look so cool. All in all, this lends to a really interesting and cool looking world that you're definitely not going to be able to get enough of. But the second thing that's awesome about this game is the characters, and the characters have been done so well. There's a really in-depth relationship system, and it allows you to get to know each god and see more and more of them the more you reward and do what they want you to do. This extends to the main character as well. He's really funny, he has a bit of a witty but dark kind of humour, and he does a bit of semi 4-4 break sometimes, and this also makes him really fun to play as. You don't just feel like a nameless faceless Link in the game, being sent by everyone and doing what you don't need to do. No, you're playing someone who has their own hopes, their own dreams, their own motivations, and again that really adds to the immersion of this world, and you're really invested and you want to help him achieve his goal of escaping the underworld. But that moves me on to the third reason, and the story is so cool, and it's really well integrated with the gameplay. Now one of the great things is that every single run you do will advance the story in some way, almost irrespective of what your success is, and at least this constant feeling of an evolving world as opposed to a story that you're just having to force yourself through. It also really allows you to take the game at your own pace, and if that's not enough for you, they've also included a special mode where you can focus purely on the story and your character's just buffed, so you can complete runs really easily. Hades is such an interesting take on Greek mythos with a relatively minor character that we don't see in other games, and this has allowed Supergiant Games to take some liberties and really stretch their legs in the story. There's also a lot of alternate story threads as well that make relationships and other characters really stand out. You're always excited to meet a new character, figure out what they want and help them achieve it. But the fourth amazing thing about Hades is the gameplay. The gameplay is incredible. It's challenging, but very addictive. Now it can be played at a simple level without much regard for the synergies or upgrades, and this doesn't really hamstring you as the game is very skill intensive. If you are good at dodging, if you have good reflexes, you will do well. But if you decide to be a bit more thoughtful, you're rewarded by a very complex system that underpins the game, and this really comes into its own at the end game after your first run completion. The game rewards you for experimenting, and it makes you learn every single aspect of the game, and it doesn't get tiring compared to some roguelikes. There's very high moment to moment gameplay, while the underlying story is also there for the slower parts to help push you along. The combat is so fast and fluid, the weapons are so fun to use, each one feeling so unique, and combining that with the gods that have different unique blessings and buffs, you can get this really amazing thing where it's like every run is different. The game just always feels fresh and new. But the last amazing thing about Hades is the challenge. The game's very initially addictive and allows you to get into it, but it is quite difficult. You will be dying a lot when you first play this, but it's not a problem because you're always going to want to come back and see if you can beat that enemy that crushed you before. Beating that boss that's been clapping you for the last 50 runs is an amazing feeling. And even after you beat the final boss, the game still will be able to push you to the edge by the different features to really up the difficulty. All in all, Hades is an amazing game and a great entry to roguelikes. So guys, those are my 5 reasons why I really think you should try Hades. If I haven't convinced you already to buy it, just subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have more Hades gameplay coming out, and definitely I'm sure that will convince you to buy it if this hasn't already. For everyone else, if you are going to buy it, make sure you comment and say I'm buying Hades because of Fabs. Comment it, let me know, and like this video if you enjoyed it. By the way, I do Yu-Gi-Oh content mainly on this channel, but I am going to be branching out into other things. Game reviews is going to be one of them, and just general let's plays and stuff. So if you want to see some more amazing content, make sure to subscribe as well. So look, thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.